Hello, my friends. I am Bee, and this is Bee's Intuition. Today we're going to do a reading about what are some positive changes taking place in your life, in the collective's life. I feel like it would be a little bit nice, isn't it? Anyways, I don't know. I'm a wee bit tired, but we'll get through this somehow. Anyways, let's just dive right into it. So, positive changes for the collective, the United States. What kind of positive changes are going on? Coming into the collective's life. What kinds of positive changes up around here in these parts? Okay. Okay. Maybe one more? Dare I ask? Dare I ask us for some one mores? Okay, well now that's sticking out. It makes me think that that's meant to come in. Maybe not that one, but this one. Okay. Oh, and there's another one being hidden. That's okay. We're gonna dive into that. Ooh. Well. Okay, so what came out, we have the Hanged Man. Beautiful. We have the Six of Wands. I have microphone back, so that's that. I got a new one. Hopefully it doesn't mess up like the other one. Also, I'm sorry if you hear the background noise. It's snowy today, so there's plows and stuff out there. The next card, we have King of Cups. And then we have Seven of Pentacles. And the Queen of Pentacles. It's actually quite beautiful. Like, from my perspective, that's how this is lining up on the bottom row of the reading. So, I don't know about you, but it seems like maybe there's some sort of romantic tension or collaboration happening. And then bottom of the deck, we got the Ten of Cups, baby. So, I mean, you're coming into some sort of significant happiness. Okay. Well then, let's just get into clarifying, shall we? Starting with that Hanged Man. Please, Lady Spirit, what are the positive changes coming into the collective's life? And what do they have to do with this Hanged Man energy? Like, what's going on around these parts? Okay. I think there was one that flipped over. Indeed. And I, or interesting. Yeah, I think that's the order. Okay, very interesting messages already. What? Wow. Okay. What is that noise? Oh, I think it's just a vibration from like a vacuum cleaner or something. Anyways, I gotta focus. Usually there's not this many background noises while I'm filming, so I'm like, oh, what are these noises? Okay, so clarifying the Hanged Man, we have the Five of Swords. Ten of Wands came out like that. We have the Seven of Swords. Then we have the Ten of Swords. And then we have the Ten of Cups. Knight of Swords. Ace of Wands. And bottom of the deck, the Sun card. What a way to start out the reading. I am taking these bottom of the deck energies as very good omens. If you've been struggling or feeling like no happiness, or a lack of happiness, a lack of fulfillment, oh, nothing good is ever going to happen, be prepared for a lot better outcome than you believe there is. Because the Sun card is arguably the happiest card in the deck. Ten of Cups is as many cups as you can get in the court cards there. Interesting. Minor arcana, I think. Happiness, though. I do see it being unexpected because it is the bottom of the deck energy. So it feels like this could even kind of sneak up on you, but in the best way possible, clearly. So this feels like the energy that you've been in for some time with the 5 of Swords, 10 of Wands, 7 of Swords, 10 of Swords. Like that, I would say those are probably like my top least favorite cards to like show up, because they typically have that negative association with them. The 5 of Swords, I always see that as like being treated unfairly by others. And then there's this 10 of Wands, and the way that it came out feels excessively burdensome. It came out like that. So it's almost like this 10 of Wands, this feeling of being overburdened, was really weighing you down and holding you back or making you feel really stuck. But it was really heavily on your mind. It was something that you felt stuck in. You felt like you were unable to maybe alleviate this heavy load, or you're unable to make changes to it. But then the 7 of Swords, you may have been coming out of or you may be coming out of a time of dealing with some shady people. People that may have two faces to them, you know, the face that they show you and the face that they show other people. It feels like somebody could have even been playing mind games with you, especially if, yeah, it feels like it could have even been like an ex or somebody that you wanted something romantic with at one point. You may have eventually found out that they were holding back information, or they were hiding something. That's what it feels like. It feels like somebody was hiding something. But also, on the bright side, I could always read this 7 of Swords as maybe your mind tricking you into thinking that nothing good is going to happen. You know, life is just suffering. You know, there's no way out. Maybe that 7 of Swords is indicating that your mind has been playing tricks on you, and you're actually going to be able to move out of this depressive energy and just low, negative, heavy energy. So it could even be that something good is going to happen and you don't see it coming, because maybe your brain was playing tricks on you, making you feel convinced that this is your life now, misery. You know, this is your life now. Nothing but difficulty and heaviness. But after the 7 of Swords, we have the 10 of Swords. And actually, I do like that that was the last card of like the heavier energy here, because the 10s are supposed to indicate endings, like a completion of a cycle. So I feel like it goes without saying that this seems like a cycle you were closing out. You may even have a different perspective of these situations that you were going through, especially once this transition happens and you come into happier energy and happier circumstances. There could be something about how your perspective of everything shifts. And I like to say that, you know, the saying hindsight is 2020 is like probably the most true thing I've ever heard in my life, because I personally believe in that. Hindsight is 2020. But it also is like, we can't always see how things are working out for us in our best, in our highest good, the best way for everyone involved, for everyone's growth that's involved. So it's like we sometimes don't see blessings as blessings, or we sometimes see events happening in our lives or circumstances, and we may not in that moment feel like this is helpful. We may not in those moments think like, oh, you know, this is going to be a good thing, especially if it's this rougher kind of energy that you've been in. And so maybe once you're out of that negative energy and things start to go really well for you, maybe you start looking back on all of this negative energy, and maybe you see what Spirit's purpose was with that, with you being in this heavier energy. It could even be a purging of your past traumas, a purging of you maybe taking on too much weight, or taking on too many responsibilities, taking on things that just aren't yours to carry. And then Seven of Swords, you've grown to be very selective, and you're also somebody that can sense when somebody's lying, especially now because you have that past experience. And then the Ten of Swords, that's like really heavy, a lot of pain, maybe a lot of overthinking. But sometimes I see the Ten of Swords as like being at rock bottom. You don't have to be necessarily at rock bottom right now, but it just feels really rough. It just feels like, damn, am I ever gonna get out of this energy? So right now it's almost like you're too close to it to maybe see the impact, or maybe to see the purpose behind it. But maybe you need to purge all of this negative energy in order to make room for the new positive energy that's coming in for you. And as I was saying, the Ten of Swords is a completion. Also, it looks like a sunset, but it actually could be a sun rising. Typically, I hear people refer to it as a sunrise, as if to say that this painful past is over now, and you can look forward to a new dawn, a new day, new energy. You can start again, you can start anew. I definitely feel like this transformative sort of energy with you, and it may not be physically at all. It feels almost like very internal. So it's almost like, in a way, this could be something on your spiritual path that's been meant for you, to go through this negative energy to come out the other side stronger. I know that sounds maybe really unfair and annoying, but it feels like there is some sort of purpose behind it, or significance. And maybe you won't be able to see that until some time has passed, and maybe you will see how these circumstances connect you to the things that you really want in life. Maybe that's kind of what it feels like to me. Is like, in hindsight, you're going to be able to look back and be like, oh yeah, so I guess that kind of did work out, or I guess I kind of needed to purge that, otherwise I would have blah blah blah. I kind of needed to face those demons, because otherwise I would have, blah blah blah. So like, there's typically a way you can kind of read into these situations, to find the purpose behind them, or the lesson. And it does feel like a very dramatic transition, because from the Ten of Swords we have the Ten of Cups following right after. So it's really like night and day here. You feeling maybe super unhappy, like you just can't win, you can't seem to overcome any sort of challenge that may be in your path, or maybe even within you, in terms of doubt, mindsets, narratives. But it's almost like Spirit wants you to maybe feel all of these things and then purge them, let them go, release them, because you're going to be clearing away all of that negativity to make space for the new positive energy coming in. A lot of emotional fulfillment. Oh my gosh, I'm just now realizing 10 of Cups at the bottom of this deck, but also I'm holding the 10 of Cups as well in the other deck. The future is looking very bright for you. It does seem like it is filled with a lot of emotional contentment for you. And I feel like there could even be something to do with like a partnership, a building of a family, but not necessarily. It just seems like you could have even gone from like thinking like no way in hell are my circumstances changing, because all I can see is darkness, because that's just been my experience, is, you know, all of this pain, suffering, and I can't look forward to the future in a positive, optimistic way because of all of my experiences. And the Ten of Cups is almost like a transition into this happier energy. So it's almost like yeah, so it's like now you can start dreaming of a future for yourself, because things are changing. Circumstances, situations, they're changing in the energy. And so something is going to happen, and maybe it could simply be a mental health shift as well. We are slowly making our way into spring. This is the month of March as I'm recording this, but you don't have to pay attention to that, because my readings are typically timeless, so they can apply to you whenever. But as I'm recording this, it is March, and so spring is just around the corner. But it doesn't really feel like it when there's so much snow outside. But anyways, so maybe you've been in this gloomy place for some time. So yeah, it feels like you have this very significant change in your perspective and mind shift. And then after that Ten of Cups comes the Knight of Swords. So it feels like there could be some sort of unexpected communication coming in very quickly that is going to change your outlook on yourself, your future, your happiness. It's going to feel like happiness is definitely within reach. Ace of Wands, maybe there's something here that you have manifested, some sort of new beginning. Could have something to do with creating something here, or there's a vision for the future that you may be following, and maybe it is simply just the future that you are going to start daydreaming about, and then taking practical steps to make that a reality. It does feel like it's going to shift you into a more positive direction, but it is going to also shift your perspective, which I feel like is probably very much needed, especially if you've been going through this painful negative energy for some time. Then we have the Sun card at the bottom of the deck, so that's so beautiful. That's like so much happiness. There's also good health that's a part of the Sun card. So maybe if things have been rough for you, illness wise or chronic illness, that could be clearing up for you or improving in some way. But it also gives like a feeling of excitement, I feel. So it could be something like a very exciting opportunity here. Gets you real fired up. Let's see what's underneath that. Seven of Cups. Interesting. So that's indicating that you, well, for one, sometimes it can indicate illusions. So maybe you haven't been seeing this whatever has been lingering in your mind, maybe you haven't been able to see the whole truth of the situation or all of the details about the situation. And so maybe you were confused and doubting something. But on the other hand too, especially if there's new opportunity coming in for you, it could be that there's multiple opportunities opening up for you. So maybe it starts with one thing, but it like is built on top of itself with other opportunities. Because it could even be, sorry for the loud plowing in the background. But yeah, it could be multiple different opportunities for different areas in your life. Oh, actually I wanted to see what's underneath that. Seven of Cups. Four of Cups. So this is, ooh. So one, I do think that you've probably been in a period of isolation, but this was probably necessary. And this could be a complete shift from that self-isolation, but it's not. With the Four of Cups, why does it feel like you're almost expecting something to come in, or you're really hoping that it does? And then it does, is what it feels like. You could have even been praying to Spirit for some time for a sign or for some sort of indication here that you're on the right path. But it also, the Four of Cups, I get this energy of like making the right sorts of choices to line you up perfectly with these opportunities that are coming in. So it does feel like it's a result of something that you've been doing, maybe investing into yourself. Something is going to shift for you. Okay, let's go on to the Six of Swords, the Six of Wands. Please and thank you, Spirit. What positive changes are going to be taking place for the collective? And what do they have to do with this Six of Wands energy? Please and thank you, Spirit. Six of Wands. Okay. All right, so clarifying that Six of Wands, we have the Queen of Pentacles, the Page of Pentacles, the Queen of Wands, bottom of the deck is the Nine of Wands. So that Nine of Wands at the bottom of the deck feels like you have been going through many battles, many challenges, but you haven't given up. You have stayed strong, even when you felt weak. But yeah, even when you felt weak, you refused to give up. And I feel like that is actually going to be paying off for you because we are clarifying the Six of Wands. Six of Wands is, success with public recognition. So maybe there's even some sort of story or give a backstory, and that's very inspiring here. Very interesting that we have two queens and a page that popped out for this Six of Wands. You know what? Maybe I'll clarify them because these could be three different individuals that have something to do with your success. Or it could be that this page is coming in and maybe you're just embodying the Queen of Pentacles and the Queen of Wands. Yeah, let's clarify, shall we? Let's start with the Queen of Pentacles. Who is this? Is this the collective or somebody else? Is this the collective or somebody else? Ooh. Actually, okay, we'll take it. Okay, so I clarified the Queen of Pentacles, asking who this is. We received the Seven of Wands and the King of Pentacles. It did fall funny into my seat here, and when I lifted it up, it originally was in the reverse, but when I dropped it to see if it would fall in a different direction, it came out like that. So I'm going to take it from that perspective. So this Queen of Pentacles could be you. But you're like overcoming something really big here. With the Seven of Wands, you are that fighter. You are that warrior that refuses to give up. But the thing that's really beautiful about the Seven of Wands is there is that winning against the odds. Having the odds stacked against you, but yet you still overcome something. You still have success in something, even if it looks bleak at first. And now that the King of Pentacles came out, I'm like, okay, should I clarify that to make sure that I'm like, well, like, you know what? I'm actually getting that maybe you're more focused on your own success, but I feel like you could have a divine match here because you're showing up as the Queen of Pentacles here, and then the King of Pentacles came out to clarify that Queen of Pentacles. So actually that kind of makes sense with the way that the cards came out too. So maybe it's like during this time of success, somebody comes in towards you who's a really good match for you, maybe on multiple levels. But for some reason you're like, I want to put that on hold, or I'm not so sure about that because now I'm stepping into my power. Now I'm maybe becoming more independent, more stable and secure. Maybe you see this King of Pentacles as a distraction from your own success. Okay. Oh, and then we have the Seven of Cups at the bottom of the deck. So maybe there's something about, well, it feels like, again, you have a lot of options here. And it could be in love, so maybe that's why you're putting this King of Pentacles on the back burner. But it feels like more than that, especially with the Seven of Wands and the Six of Wands here. It feels like the Seven of Cups is referring to a lot of opportunities following your success. Some sort of major success here. And so it does. It kind of feels like you may have your hands full with other things, and so you're just kind of not focused on this King of Pentacles, even though they are very much... Ooh. And maybe the reason why they came out in the reverse and this, that could be indicating that your rejection or putting this person on the back burner may make this person feel really insecure. Maybe they'll start to question, like even if you have reciprocal feelings for this person, they may start to doubt that now. Or they may start to feel a little insecure because you're not choosing them, or you're just not paying attention to them. You're not, maybe you're even like, if this person is somebody that wants to date you, perhaps, maybe they asked you, but you didn't answer. And so now they feel like stuck in this more lower vibration energy. Like they're waiting for a response, or maybe it takes you a long time to respond and they start to overthink that. But it could simply be that you're just busy with other things, achieving a lot here. I want to see what's underneath the Seven of Cups. The second card again. So it does feel positive. You have a lot of opportunities opening up for you. You feel good about them. Yeah. So yeah, it does feel like maybe your focus is elsewhere, and it's not even necessarily that you don't like this King of Pentacles. Honestly, it feels like maybe you do like this King of Pentacles because they are showing up as your potential partner here. Somebody that's very compatible with you. But your focus is elsewhere. Let's see what's underneath that Sun card. The Hanged Man. Okay, so we just clarified the Hanged Man not too long ago. So it does feel like whatever it was that you have been thinking about. Oh, and actually now with this context and what I was just saying about how you've been putting maybe the King of Pentacles on the back burner, the Hanged Man can be a shift in perspective. So maybe your perspective of love has shifted, or your perspective of what requires your attention is shifting or has shifted. And so maybe you're like, I need to lean into these opportunities, these work-related things, rather than focusing on love. Maybe that's something that you're recognizing here. Okay. So now it feels like the King of Pentacles may be showing up as this Page of Pentacles, trying to offer you a new beginning, but maybe you are not so sure. Like something to invest in here, but maybe you're just like, my focus is elsewhere. Maybe this is something that you just don't want to do right now. But the Page of Pentacles did come out upright, so that makes me feel inclined to say that you do want that new beginning of investing into something. And that kind of makes sense why the King of Pentacles came out sideways like that, because it could simply be that you're just like, yes, I want to invest in this, but maybe not right now. Or it feels like communication is definitely going to be necessary so that this King of Pentacles doesn't get the wrong idea if you actually are into them. because their whole focus might be on you and a future with you. Okay, I'm going to clarify this Queen of Wands then, see what that's about. Please and thank you, Spirit. Is this the collective? This Queen of Wands? What's going on with that Queen of Wands? Okay. Oh. Okay. So, clarifying that Queen of Wands, we have the Nine of Wands, Knight of Wands, Six of Pentacles, the World card, Six of Swords at the bottom of the deck. And so, I think that this Queen of Wands is somebody separate from yourself. But they are noticing your hard work, the fact that you haven't been giving up. They may even show up in this Knight of Wands energy. They may love your creativity or the way your brain works, and maybe they have some sort of creative project that they want you to collaborate on. And then the Six of Pentacles follows that Knight of Wands. So it feels like it's going to be an equal sort of dynamic here. Equal give and take. If this is a job opportunity, it's going to pay you what you deserve. You know, it's not going to be taking advantage of anything. And also following that Six of Pentacles being the World card, feels like, again, there is this closing out of cycles and beginning new ones. So it does feel like new beginnings are on the horizon for you, and they're going to be really exciting. Definitely feels like a little bit of, I mean, there could be a little bit of fear around the unknown, but overall, I feel like this is something that you want to happen. And this Queen of Wands could be the person that's offering this to you. And it's because they've been seeing all of your hard work. They're very impressed. So it feels like they do want to work with you. They may even come in a very like bubbly sort of energy, because the Knight of Wands with the Queen of Wands, I would see it as being like that, you know, that boisterous sort of energy that fire signs sometimes have. I feel like you'll like that person though, this Queen of Wands. And the fact that there's the equal give and take part, this is somebody that's on your level as well. Yeah. Feels like this is somebody that kind of, it probably is that because they like what you're doing, they may see some of themselves in you to an extent. And they're like, I like this person. They got spunk or they got that determination, that resilience. But I do feel like there's something about the mind or creativity or creation that they want you to be a part of. Maybe they want your perspective on something or your opinion. And then with the Six of Swords at the bottom of the deck, it does feel like you're transitioning from a place of unhappiness or chaos into calmer waters here. The future looks brighter. Yeah. Let's see what's underneath that Six of Swords. Four of Pentacles. Okay. So I would definitely say not to be closed off to any new opportunities, because a lot of these could be really good for you. Even if they do challenge you to leave your comfort zone, it may be kind of necessary to leave your comfort zone. Ooh, for some of you, not all of you, this could actually be an opportunity that requires you to travel to it. Or maybe, yeah, feels like it could have something to do with travel, and that's going to cause you to get out of your comfort zone, maybe physically. But overall, it feels like Spirit is just asking you not to hold on to what you have currently. And yeah, it's like, keep yourself open, keep your mind open, keep your heart open, because you have no idea where this is going to go, and it feels very positive. I want to see what's underneath that Four of Pentacles. The Lovers card. So, the Lovers card, it could always be indicating that soulmate connection, of course. And, I think that you could have something going on with that that King of Pentacles there. But also the Lovers card is all about choices. And so I think you have been making some really good choices that are putting you into alignment with the future that you wish to see for yourself. Maybe you doubted it at one point, but it feels like not anymore. Not once this shift happens here. Okay, let's go on to the King of Cups, see what that's about. Please and thank you, Spirit. What positive changes are taking place for the collective, coming in for the collective in relation to the King of Pentacles? Please and thank you, Spirit. Okay. Oh my. Okay, so clarifying that King of Cups, we have the Judgment card, Seven of Pentacles, the Page of Swords, and then bottom of the deck, we have the Lovers card. So this King of Cups, maybe you have two different people. You got that King of Pentacles and now the King of Cups. But these could also be two people that both think that they're your soulmate. The funniest part is maybe you're not even paying attention to your love life right now, but yet people are gravitating towards you. Especially if you have success about you. Could kind of come through in your energy, especially if you're like in a happier sort of mindset that shows up in your energy, your vibration. So maybe people can kind of catch wind that there is something that you're excited about, and it may be related to your own success here. And so maybe it kind of catches the attention of these people that have been maybe holding on to their feelings for some time, and now they feel like they're ready to express themselves to you, especially because this is a period of transition for you. And I feel like these people don't want to be left behind. I feel like there's something about that here. But the Judgment card, that could technically be indicating that this is somebody from your past who wants to come in for a more favorable outcome, but not necessarily. Honestly, sometimes I see the Judgment card as like turning over a new leaf, a fresh start maybe. Well, I guess that could always be applied to exes and stuff, but it could be that there's like some sort of spiritual significance to this person, or their presence coming back into your life or something. Maybe it's simply just the message that this King of Cups has that is meant for you. Even if you're not entertaining them romantically, maybe it's like something you can get out of the conversation that Spirit wants you to listen to potentially. The Seven of Pentacles, so it feels like you've been slowly growing something here. You've been very patient. This person could definitely see you as being somebody that's very tapped into Spirit, and you listen to Spirit through your intuition. And you allow Spirit to guide you. And then the Page of Swords. So this King of Cups has been watching your slow progress here. All of your hard work that you've been investing into something. But yeah, this person, this King of Cups has been watching you, watching your progress, watching how patient you've been, how you've been investing in this thing. And it feels like with that Judgment card, they've decided to make their presence known. It could even be somebody that really admires what you do for work, or maybe your work ethic. Maybe you do something that is spiritual related. Not necessarily, but it could be. It feels like there's some sort of admiration for sure, but it's interesting because the King of Cups wasn't really clarified by any cup cards or very apparent romantic cards. The only one that would be, I guess, more considered more romantic would be the Lovers at the bottom of the deck. This may also just be a fan of yours. I don't know why I'm getting that. Yeah, because maybe it's the specific work you do. Maybe they are very interested in that field of work, or they see the significance of that or the uniqueness depending on what you do. They may have an idea that they want to share with you. And maybe it is simply that they feel like you're their soulmate, and maybe they want you to make a decision about that. And the Judgment card also feels like this sensation of like someone here wants you to make a judgment call about who you're allowing into this new chapter that's exciting, that's opening up for you. And this King of Cups could be somebody that just doesn't want to be left behind. And they want to be sort of brought with you into this new phase of life, if that makes any sense. They may even want to collaborate with you. But again, it doesn't feel super emotional or super romantic. And maybe that's just the conversation that takes place, is just that it's not very romantic. It's just mostly about what you do for work, how this person really admires you, how they've been watching your work and they're very impressed with what they see. Maybe you make this person very curious. Maybe they even have questions to ask you. Maybe you even opened up this person's spirituality. Maybe this is somebody that's not typically spiritual, but after encountering you or encountering the work you do or watching the work you do, watching maybe how you just live your life too. If you're spiritual, maybe there's a strong spiritual significance in your day-to-day schedule or routine. Maybe this person really admires that. Maybe you set aside time specifically for prayer or some sort of devotional routine. Very interesting. It feels like this person really does admire you. At the very least, your work is like really, really cool and intriguing to them. And it could also be the way you work as well. It could be a very unique sort of strategy or way of doing things. So I mean, the Lover's card, if it's not referring to a soulmate connection, it could be that this person, this King of Cups, maybe wants you to make a choice about them, or about something they want to ask you. Let's see what's underneath that Lover's card. Maybe we can get some more romantic context to this. Okay. Six of Swords. So again, not really super romantic card, but it does speak of transitioning from one point to another. So maybe this King of Cups is going through some sort of transition period in their own life as well. But maybe it's more so they're releasing something from the past, and it could be maybe mindsets, narratives, maybe people, maybe environments. But it definitely was not serving them, whatever this was that they left behind. And maybe they see that working with you would be the best situation, the best way that this could play out. So maybe, well, in terms of if it is romantic, maybe if they really recently just got out of a significant connection, maybe they're just not trying to rush that kind of thing with you. Maybe they do want this to start out as like a collaborative effort here, or a friendship, or a conversation that's not romance related, but maybe it builds to that eventually. Because maybe there's something about trust as well, that sense of building trust here. That may be necessary on both sides. You got to grow into that trust. You got to grow into that love between the two of you. I mean, they do see that you are in the direction that they are heading, and they see you as being a better influence or energy in their life. I want to see what's underneath that Six of Swords. Four of Pentacles. Again, not any cup cards, but this person could have had to leave their comfort zone in order to leave something or someone behind. And maybe they're trying to start all over again. Maybe that's what that Judgment card is referring to. They're trying to restart their whole life potentially. Maybe it was a partner that they left behind. Yeah, with that Lovers card, maybe that's what it's referring to. Somebody that they may have thought was their soulmate, but turned into chaos. And so they're leaving that behind in pursuit of their real soulmate. Maybe they found out, you know, especially after leaving this person with that Four of Pentacles underneath. Maybe it's talking about how they realized, maybe in hindsight, that they were holding on to this relationship that wasn't really serving them. And so they made the logical decision to leave it behind, even if that was maybe not what they wanted to do originally. Because they could feel like you're their soulmate, but somebody else could have not been, potentially. And this is something that they're recognizing, maybe what they want to share with you. Okay, let's go on to the Seven of Pentacles. Please and thank you, Spirit. What positive changes are going on for the collective? Coming in for the collective relation to that Seven of Pentacles. Please and thank you, Spirit. Okay, anything else for that Seven of Pentacles? Please and thank you, Spirit. Anything for that Seven of Pentacles? Please and thank you. Okay. Interesting. So we have, clarifying that Seven of Pentacles, we have the Knight of Cups, Two of Pentacles, Five of Pentacles, Six of Swords at the bottom of the deck. Okay, so interesting. So it feels like you could be building something with someone right now. And maybe it's simply just a coworker. Maybe the two of you work together, because there's a good amount of pentacle energy here. But there's something about romantic feelings being expressed. Two of Pentacles, for some reason that's hitting me as like two worlds colliding. Like maybe the two of you have very different lifestyles, and then like somehow the two of you come together, and maybe it's compatible though. Maybe it's like two very different people, and it looks like on paper that it shouldn't be able to work, because it's just like, how does this work together? But it may actually form together very beautifully. It could even be complementary to one another. What one of you lacks, the other one has in abundance, is what it feels like. There also is that patience message behind the Seven of Pentacles. Ooh, maybe, why does this feel like, I feel like this person's in your life, even if it's not romantically. I don't know why I'm feeling that. It feels like you're building something with someone, and maybe it's simply just a coworker dynamic, getting to know each other in that way, maybe getting to know each other in a friendship sort of way, or some sort of, I was going to say a business together, but I'm not feeling that so much. Five of Pentacles following that Two of Pentacles. Maybe they could have expected the worst out of this situation, but maybe their mindset has shifted towards a more positive direction or perspective. But they also could feel like, Oh, so with the Five of Pentacles, sometimes it can be a card of like feeling like you're the one left out, or somebody that's like on the outside looking in at your life and feeling very disappointed in that. But I feel like maybe with this context, this Five of Pentacles is indicating that it's almost like they don't want to just be friends. They don't want to just be coworkers. They don't want to just be platonic and talk in this platonic way. It feels like this is somebody that's craving depth. Like they actually want to get to know you, and vice versa, like the real you, not just like who you are at work or who you are when you're entertaining friends or whatever, but they want to know you. And that Knight of Cups feels like where they're coming in to express this to you. And the Seven of Pentacles, they could see that, like, especially if the two of you have already established some sort of like friendship or some sort of dynamic where the two of you have a general idea of who each other are, but it's like this is somebody that's craving the depth though. They want to know all of you, not just the parts that are pretty, not just the parts that are socially acceptable, if that makes any sense. They want the raw, unfiltered version of you. And that's what it feels like with the Five of Pentacles, is like they feel like they're on the outside looking in at your life because it almost even feels like they feel like such an interesting energy. I don't know how to articulate it, but it's almost like they know that they're not the only one on the outside looking in at your life, if that makes any sense. So it kind of gives that sense of like being a star, or like having some sort of following or fan base. I don't know why it's coming across like that, but it's almost like they don't want to be this is going to sound silly, but it's like they don't want to be like everyone else on the outside looking in at your life. They want to be a part of your life. They want to build with you in your life and their life as well. They want to like, yeah, it's like they want to bring these two worlds together, see what happens. Because they feel like they feel very optimistic about this. And maybe the way that the two of you work together, the two of you could have a very good coworker dynamic in the way of like, yeah, maybe that's an indication of how you're compatible. It's like the fact that you kind of vibe well with each other. You communicate very well. I mean, the Five of Pentacles could also be indicating that this is somebody that may feel a little insecure, may kind of feel like they don't quite match your standards, or they're not quite like you yet to some extent, or in some sort of way. Like there could be some insecurities lingering, is what I'm trying to say. But it feels like they are very certain that they want this to go somewhere deeper, be explored deeper. Ooh, the Five of Pentacles could also be, especially with the way that this person's showing up in a very sort of intrigued energy when it comes to you. Maybe the Five of Pentacles is also about, they want to know like your insecurities. They want to know the things that you're not so happy about or proud of. Maybe moments from the past that were, maybe learning milestones for you. Like, how have you changed? And what was that past version of yourself? How have you changed out of that? Like it feels like somebody that really is so interested in you, but on so many levels. It's not just like romantically, it's not just platonically. Like they have so many things that they want to know about you. And so it's like they want to be let into your life, if that makes any sense, because they see how this could really build something quite beautiful. Okay, this Knight of Cups could also be this King of Cups or somebody else. I feel like this Knight of Cups is somebody that you actually know, though, whereas the King of Cups might not be, potentially. King of Cups might be somebody, it's possible that they could be from your past, or they could be somebody new. But this Knight of Pentacles, not the Knight of Pentacles, this Knight of Cups feels like you at least know of them, you've interacted with them to some extent. They don't feel like a stranger. And it feels like you have some sort of base or foundation at this point. And again, it could just simply be that the two of you work together, or you know each other in a platonic sort of environment. But it's like they want to go deeper. They want to see what this could be, but also who you are. I feel like they are very intrigued by who you are. And also maybe what you're building on in your own life. Especially if you are determined, motivated, ambitious, which it feels like you probably are, because we had the Queen of Pentacles earlier, and we're about to clarify the Queen of Pentacles here. So it does feel like you are very much somebody that's probably very work focused, maybe right now or in general. Six of Swords. So oh, so this is kind of giving me like they want to know your backstory. Like, what was the chaos that you left behind? Because it's almost like they know your life now, but they also know that there's a backstory. And you've been through something pretty catastrophic, I want to say, which is interesting. Something that was really difficult for you, but you made the decision to move away from it. Because it's almost like you knew you deserved better, or you knew better was out there. Could have even been a transition that you were really overthinking for some time, but ultimately it led to the right sort of things to happen for you. Yeah, it feels like this person really wants to know more about your backstory and the details related to it, and how you got out of that, how you changed your life for the better. I do feel this sense of intense admiration for you. You may have multiple people admiring you here, or maybe just a couple, but it feels like these people are just so attracted to you, and it's not even just attracted to you in the, stereotypical schmexual way, but they just are like magnetized towards you. Like they just can't help it almost. And it's just like, they're so intrigued by everything about you, it feels like. Let's see what's underneath that Six of Swords. Four of Pentacles. Ooh, you may have your guard up around this person, and that's something that's kind of intriguing them. Like, what made you form that guard in the first place? Like, what are your past experiences that made you not trust other people? It's almost like they want to know what has led you up to this point. What is your backstory? Who were you before you became this? Very interesting. Why does it also feel like there's the possibility for somebody to be in an interview here? Because we have that public recognition of success. We have this, like, very much intrigued about the backstory when it comes to you. So it could be that one of you out there, or maybe whoever, is having an interview of some sort where you're like going into like your journey and your past, and it's very inspiring. I'm just curious what's underneath that. The Lover's card. So yeah, the choices that you've been making, how were you able to keep that up for so long, making the right decisions, the right choices, trusting yourself, trusting in spirit, trusting in the process? It feels like someone, or maybe multiple someones, are very intrigued by your story and how you did it. So it's like they want the tea, they want the scoop on how you did this. Okay, let's go on to the Queen of Pentacles now, please and thank you, Spirit. What positive changes are taking place for the collective? What's coming into the collective's life for positive changes related to that Queen of Pentacles? Please and thank you, Spirit. What's going on with that? Okay. Clarifying that Queen of Pentacles, we have the Two of Wands, Nine of Cups, Eight of Wands. Bottom of the deck is the Four of Pentacles. So You're planning for your future. You probably have been for some time because you're showing up as the Queen of Pentacles. Queen of Pentacles would probably be definitely a planner. Maybe holding on to a vision. 9 of Cups, that was wish fulfillment. So it feels like something that you were planning for or hoping for or trying to manifest is actually going to come in. With the 8 of Wands, that could be either forward progress and then like something like a project or something. Or it could be incoming communication, like a conversation that you're having with someone. And so maybe that's what either fulfills a wish fulfillment here, or maybe it is the news that this wish fulfillment is coming in for you. You're going to feel very happy about that, very contented. And maybe it's even going to confirm your intuition or confirm your ability to manifest. It feels like it could even be proof that you're able to manifest as well. And it makes you feel very good, very confident. Very secure within your psychic abilities, potentially. The 9 of Cups feels like you're going to be very, very happy on your own. And maybe that's something that you're not quite used to. Or at least maybe the people around you aren't quite used to, because we did see that King of Pentacles earlier. That was kind of like, felt like you were kind of putting them on the back burner. And so it could be something where you're just like really enjoying this independent lifestyle, this independent happiness. And so you want to explore this right now rather than maybe romantic things. And that's totally okay too. But with the 4 of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck, I would just be cautious that you're not pushing away maybe people that are actually really good for you and could even help you along this path, because the right person is not going to want to take away from your life. They're not going to want to, they're not going to want to reduce whatever you have going on. They're going to want to help build that, and they're going to want to contribute to that. So it feels like maybe there's even something here with this King of Pentacles that's like, if this person is genuine and, you actually do have these feelings for them and whatnot, maybe Spirit's kind of encouraging you to not be closed off and rather be open about it. Or open to this person perhaps, because maybe this person, even if you can't see it right now, maybe in the future they play a significant part in your journey. You never know. And I feel like sometimes the 4 of Pentacles can be a card of being closed off because you're afraid. And so I feel like, especially if that's what you're worried about, is being hurt by this King of Pentacles, or the past repeating itself, I feel like you're headed towards a more positive direction in your life. And so I would say not to expect the worst outcome, because maybe something is going to turn out much better than you anticipated. And also the 4 of Pentacles, sometimes I feel like it's an encouragement to leave your comfort zone. So it could be something here where it's like, yeah, definitely enjoy your success, soak in all of this awesome energy, the happiness, the good news, the emotional fulfillment that you have on your own. But also, maybe you're meant for many blessings. So don't limit yourself when it comes to blessings, potentially. That could be a message. I want to see what's underneath that 4 of Pentacles. The 6 of Swords again. Okay, yeah. But yeah, that's telling me that you're safe. So like, don't be so guarded around that King of Pentacles perhaps, because your future is going to be much calmer than your past. And so maybe this is confirmation for you, that Spirit wants to confirm for you that you have nothing to worry about. And also, if you're very tapped into Spirit, which it feels like you are, your intuition may be very much on point right now. And so trust your intuition, trust in those abilities within you, that ability to kind of sense things and feel things out. And maybe you'll find that you were pushing somebody away because you were afraid, or because you were expecting the worst, but this person may not be so scary. And maybe it's even one of those situations where even if you have multiple people to choose from, because you're in such a high vibration, your intuition's on point, you're going to be able to choose the right person for you. So don't doubt yourself, especially in your own mind, your own ability to make your own judgments. I feel like that could be something that you may second guess, but it feels like you are in the right place to make really solid decisions. So trust that you are. And don't try to sabotage any blessing that is trying to present itself to you. I want to see what's underneath that Six of Swords. Eight of Cups. So interesting. These both can be cards of like leaving something behind. The Eight of Cups is more so the emotional aspect of like something that no longer emotionally fulfills you that once did. But again, leaving something behind. I think you're leaving the old cycle behind. You're leaving behind all of the negativity, the negative experiences that you left behind, all the chaos you left behind. And so it does feel like, don't let your fear control the narrative here, because it feels like, yes, you've been through it, but that's in the past now. And you're ready for the new. You're ready for the future. The future is going to be much more calmer, more peaceful, more harmonious is what I want to say. It's not going to be like your past. So I feel like that's important to definitely emphasize there. And then we have the Ten of Cups at the bottom of this deck, of course. So that's so much happiness, fulfillment. Can be seen as the happily ever after card. So maybe you're going to be coming into your little happily ever after soon. Let's see what's underneath that. Eight of Pentacles. So it definitely could be work related. What you've been working on, your creativity. It could be linked to your creativity here. You're very talented, multi-talented more than likely. You may also be mastering something, especially if you've been working on something for a long time. You may start to notice how far you've come, just how much progress you've made, especially when you take a step back to really look at it. I want to see what's underneath that Eight of Pentacles. Four of Swords. So something that you may have been praying for is coming through. Also notice there's a indication of intuition there. Being very spiritually tapped in. So trust that, especially in, maybe it's also saying that in moments of silence, when you take a step back and maybe a step away from others, that's when your intuition really is very strong, very much tapped in. And so maybe if at any point you're afraid or you're unsure what decision to make, or you know, anything that you would hope your intuition would help you to navigate, it feels like Spirit is definitely suggesting to just go within, maybe isolate, and yeah, really tap into that. Maybe prayer could be a part of it as well. Or meditation, definitely. But it's almost like you kind of need to be within your own energy in a relaxed, grounded state in order for your intuition to really come through very strongly. So that could be helpful for you if you're trying to make any sort of decision. Let's break out the Oracle and see what it has to add to this. Please and thank you, Spirit. Any additional messages for the collective? Any words of encouragement? Anything that you think they need to hear right now? Please and thank you, Spirit. Anything that you want to let the collective know? Please and thank you. Okay. Alrighty then. Okay, this is quite a bit, but that's okay. So the first card that came out is the Leaves card. This represents renewal, revival, and progress. Yeah. I think you're definitely making some significant progress. And the whole renewal, revival energy, I mean, that is definitely what I've been feeling for you for this whole reading. Is like you're going through some sort of significant change, transformation here. And it's going to show you just how far you've come with that progress part of the card too. And then we have Butterfly. This represents transformation, joy, beauty, and transience. Transformation. Yeah, we were just talking about that. You've been definitely transitioning, transforming here. Your life is as well. And then it talks about joy and beauty. So it feels like you're coming into a time where you're going to be happier. You're going to be able to see the beauty in life again. That transience, it feels like that's referring to the temporary state of your troubles, you know? The things that you thought were going to stick around forever, they actually are going to be leaving because this is a time of transitioning, time of transforming for you. And then the Carnelian card came out that represents energy, leadership, and creativity. I love that card. That's a beautiful card. Well, I guess I'm biased because my necklace is carnelian, so I like it. I like it a lot. But anyways, so it says energy, leadership, creativity. I think your energy could be getting a boost as well, especially if you've been feeling low energy for some time. The leadership part, I think that, yeah, you could be seen as a leader, especially because something about your work is being very emphasized here. It's very impressive. I think you're showing a lot of potential to a lot of people. And they may want to give you some sort of leadership role because that's how confident they are in your ability to do that. Creativity, so it definitely could be these opportunities could have something to do with the way your mind works, the ideas you come up with, how creative you are. Your own perspective may be very important to these people that are offering you these opportunities. And then the rain card came out that represents cleansing, purification, and hydration. That feels perfect for the beginning part of this reading where there was a lot of negative energy, a lot of heavy energy. That cleansing part though with the rain, it feels like what I was saying earlier is like you're purging all of that negativity because you're going to make space for all of the new happy energy, positive energy that's going to feel much more uplifting and so much different than what you were experiencing before. The purification, I feel like that's kind of what that purge is all about, is sort of purifying yourself of that negativity to leave space for the good. Hydration, well, of course, drink your water, of course, but I feel like that means that you're going to be coming into a time where you feel like you are truly taken care of by the universe, by life, by your circumstances. I feel like you're coming into a time in which you're going to feel like you have maybe what you've been craving for some time. Maybe it's something that you didn't even know you were craving. Something that you didn't even know that you wanted comes in and it's like, yes, I don't know why I never thought of this, but yes, this is perfect. You know, something like that. And then lavender came out. This represents tranquility, kindness, and self-care. So this could definitely be a card of like taking care of yourself during this time, especially in preparation for the exciting energy coming in. But yeah, spending some time by yourself, tranquility. I feel like that kind of goes back to the Four of Swords message of like spending time alone is going to really intensify your intuition or make it very prominent so you're able to get those messages much clearer. Then the kindness part of the lavender card, I feel like you are a very kind person. Maybe that's paying off for you in a big way. But also being kind to yourself, especially if you've been struggling for some time, beating up on yourself, you know, ragging on things that may be beyond your control or mistakes you've made. Just be as kind to yourself as possible because in those moments we really don't need ourselves to be adding on top of the stress, adding on top of the depression, you know? So be your own best friend and support yourself during those difficult times. And then bottom of the deck, we have the Autumn card, and this represents bounty and balance. So it feels like with bounty, that is going to be that payoff for all of your hard work. And then that balance, I feel like the Two of Pentacles we saw earlier could have been an indication of that balancing out of energies as well. Especially if things have been feeling topsy-turvy for some time, nonsensical. The things that you've been putting all of your effort into have not been paying off, but they will. Because the balance is being corrected now. All right, so that is the reading. I really hope you enjoyed this. and I hope that it resonated. If it did resonate, feel free to like, comment, share, and subscribe. If you subscribe, you can become a part of the Hive Collective, because my name is Bee. Bees live in hives, and you can become an honorary bee like me, and we can be a little bee family together. And if you like my readings and you'd like to see more, be sure to click that bell icon down below so that YouTube actually notifies you the next time that I upload. And thank you so much for being here. I truly appreciate you, and I can't wait to see you in the next one.